Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Thursday, 6th November 2025 and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Trinidad and Tobago's police commissioner says U.S. strikes disrupting drug flow to Trinidad and Tobago. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family, yes we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara has confirmed that recent U.S. military strikes have led to a noticeable shortage of illegal drugs across Trinidad and Tobago. Daniel John of TTT News has more.
The intelligence indicates that there is a current shortage of the illicit drugs, particularly from those trafficked from Venezuela and Colombia. And the disruption has directly affected the availability of the narcotics in Trinidad and Tobago, which, as you know in business terms, when there is a shortage in supply, you know what goes up. So we've detected that there has been a marked increase in the price of illegal narcotics on the streets.
He acknowledged that the criminal elements may attempt to exploit alternative routes in response, but assured that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is actively addressing such developments.
You know Trini's real ingenious. What do you think the first thing they want to do? They go in and plant weed. And we already treat them with that. Government looking for particular breed of seeds from abroad to bring in. We treat them with that already. The ACP TSIU, well, the CIB, Mr. Tiwari, is already treating with marijuana eradication in all those different areas.
The commissioner noted that following the strikes, millions worth of illegal drugs were seized.
On the 12th of September, the TTPS, in coordination with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, we seized 268 kilograms of Colombian creepy marijuana, valued at $29 million plus. On the 30th of September, we executed a targeted operation in Faizabad, and we seized 201 kilograms of Colombian creepy marijuana.
The commissioner also stated that the military operations have also curbed the inflow of other illegal items into the country.
You're not getting the Venezuelan and Guyanese meat coming in again. So they're not standing up on the side of the road holding the smuggled wild meat. So now, again, you see the balance. It's not only working to keep narcotics out.
Daniel John, TTT News.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, in the meantime, has debunked claims that Trinidad and Tobago is under threat as a result of ongoing tensions between the United States and Venezuela.
Speaking to the media outside the Assembly Legislature on Tuesday, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar addressed concerns that fishermen from Trinidad and Tobago are being affected by the military actions of the United States.
You stay in TNT waters and you'll be safe. Trinidad is not a target. Tobago is not a target. So I totally disagree with the narrative out there by some, that we're exposing our nationals to danger. As Farley said it earlier, there's war and there are rumors and rumors of war. There is no war. TNT is not a target. The targets are narco traffickers, human traffickers. Those are our targets. And you have seen some interviews I gave, some responses I gave to the media is carrying some of it, showing that there has been the drug decrease in Trinidad, the prices for the narcos, prices increasing because why? Because we're hitting them out where it is.
Prime Minister also refuted claims that the Trinidad and Tobago government has plans of separating itself from CARICOM.
Our country and the head of my government of leaving CARICOM. So there's always some mischief there. What I did say, and I'll repeat, is we must also look to others. We have to look to others in the international arena. So, for example, we are looking to the UAE, we are looking to Qatar, looking to Bahrain, we are looking to Europe. We cannot keep closed doors and expect things to change. So CARICOM will remain as a bloc, we will remain as part of the bloc, but we have to open our wings, we have to fly.
In other news, the We Invest in Nationhood Win political party in Guyana states that it will remain resilient and united, even if its leader, Azruddin Mohammed, is extradited to the United States to face criminal charges. Travis Chase of HGP Nightly News reports.
The General Secretary of the We Invest in Nationhood party, Odessa Primus, has declared that even if the party's leader, Azruddin Mohammed, is extradited to the United States, the party will remain steadfast in its mandate to serve the Guyanese people.
We were elected by the people, sir. We are going to Parliament, and that is it. There is no ifs, buts, or maybes. We are not here to serve ourselves or our interests, and if the people see and have faith in us as a party, whether or not Azruddin is released today, the music will be played and the party will go on.
Speaking with reporters on the sidelines of the Georgetown Magistrates Court, shortly after Mohammed's arrest on an extradition request from the United States, General Secretary Primus said the party's leadership structure is strong and capable of withstanding political and legal challenges.
Even during the campaign, the fight against the Mohammeds has been greater than any fight that we have seen. In fact, there has been no fight as it relates to other persons who were sanctioned. So it cannot be a matter of the government wants to do right by the people.
Ms. Primus further noted that despite what she described as attempts to stymie Wynn's work in the National Assembly, the party has several competent representatives ready to defend and advance the interest of its supporters.
And specifically with Azruddin, because like I said, he is the person that is the threat, because he's the person who has political interest, who was able to mobilize a large number of supporters here within this country and has now taken up the seat of leader of the opposition. And so as far as the government is concerned, he's a threat.
She also alleged that the 11-count U.S. grand jury indictment against Mohammed and his father, Nazar Shal Mohammed, was politically motivated, accusing the People's Progressive Party Civic of being behind efforts to discredit the Wynn leadership.
It is obvious to this entire country that the government is controlling and manipulating this entire process. And if one is to say that that is not so, then that is merely a demonstration of your ignorance, because Azruddin is not the only person, nor is his father the only person or persons who were sanctioned in this country.
Both Azruddin and Nazar Mohammed were sanctioned by the United States last year. The two were arrested on Friday following a U.S. extradition request to face trial on wire fraud and money laundering charges. The allegations reportedly relate to gold shipments and the purchase of a Lamborghini luxury vehicle. The Mohammeds have since been granted bail and are expected to return to court on November 10, 2025 for a further hearing on the extradition request. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Jamaica's opposition calls for partnership in hurricane relief efforts. Dwayne Anderson of TVJ News has more.
It's been nearly a week since Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica, and the groans of discontent are now starting to grow in some circles over the state's response to the crisis. The opposition says it is not going to criticize the government at this stage. Instead, it wants partnership.
This is a time for us as an opposition to work with the government if they will let us, And if they won't let us, we will still work in the interest of the nation as a whole, Labour Right and PNP, because we are all Jamaicans and we want Jamaica to recover from this. If we don't pull together, our corner dark.
Just weeks ago, the PNP was in election mode. That state of readiness in the party is proving useful now as the party's machinery has again clicked into high gear to respond to the growing needs of Jamaicans.
So we have the capacity to receive financial contributions locally and from overseas. And we have relationships that we've developed with established charities that will import and make the relief supplies available for distribution. And we're putting in a structure for this with an accountability element, because we want to account for every dollar received and every item received and distributed.
Some stakeholders have suggested that the state take over all distribution of relief into affected areas. This comes amid concern over the bottleneck being created in some areas as Jamaicans flock to the affected residents' assistance. The opposition says it favors orderly distribution of relief into affected areas, but that must not be high-handed and restrictive.
I gather that there's some thought among the government that they want to stop anything coming in other than through ODPEM and the state system. I would caution against that. I think that people have their preferences, donors have their preferences. Let us not deny any Jamaican in need the opportunity to receive a benefit which a donor would be inclined to provide for them through a particular channel by saying everything has to go through the state channel.
The opposition PNP, in the meantime, says its intervention in some areas since the storm hit is not political gamesmanship.
So that point is really nonsense. But the first issue about whether this is political, we are sharing information with the public. We have information which is important. We have ideas which we feel are important. And we feel that there's nothing, as long as we're approaching this in a spirit of national unity and to help Jamaica come out of a desperate situation, we ought to and should share our ideas with the public. And that's what we're doing. We haven't today attempted to criticize the government. We have made suggestions. We've pointed out where there are weaknesses, but we're not seeking to criticize the government at all at this point in time, because this is not the time for that.
Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
President Trump of the United States remained ambiguous about potential U.S. military action in Venezuela, acknowledging the possibility of regime change but denying any immediate plans for war. Details in this France English 24 news item.
From Air Force One, the questions remained up in the air. Will the United States greenlight land strikes on Venezuela? And is it planning to oust Nicolas Maduro as he claims? Well, speaking on a flight from Florida to Washington, the U.S. president remained vague about any plans for a land strike.
Are there actual plans for those strikes in the near future?
Well, how can I answer a question like that? Are there plans for a strike on Venezuela? Who would say that? Supposing there were, would I say that to you?
Since early September, the U.S. has carried out over a dozen strikes on boats in the Caribbean and in the Pacific, in what it says is a counter-drug and counter-terrorism mission. But it is yet to publicly provide any evidence that the boats were threats. It's also sent warships to the area, raising questions about the White House's plans. On Sunday, in an interview with TBS's 60 Minutes, Donald Trump denied he's looking at going to war with Venezuela, but he did say regime change could be coming.
Is it about stopping narcotics, or is this about getting rid of President Maduro?
No, this is about many things. This is a country that allowed their prisons to be emptied into our country. To me, that would be almost number one.
On Venezuela in particular, are Maduro's days as president numbered?
I would say, yeah. I think so, yeah.
For Venezuela's president, the U.S.'s motives have long been clear. Nicolas Maduro regularly says that the U.S. wants to oust him.
Everything that is being done against Venezuela is to justify a war, regime change, and to steal our immense oil wealth, which is the largest oil reserve and the fourth largest gas reserve in the world.
Maduro, who's been in power since 2013, is no stranger to repressing opposition and dissent. Amidst the escalation with the U.S., he's mobilized Venezuela's troops, all the while continuing to benefit from the military support of nations like Russia, Iran, and Cuba.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.